So people my age will want to know, how did you come to the decision that it was time to hang it up?
There's a lot of things during my life that I feel like I always waited too late to do. I waited too late to start to get my instrument rating. Waited too late to start this, you know, and all these things. And then it's like, I don't want to be too late to get to the point to know that I need to stop this. It's time.
All right, mixture's rich, fuel pump's on, trim is set for takeoff, flaps are up, or flaps are half.
Flaps are half.
All right, we're switching to 11995 for tower.
After 9 amazing years flying Cirrus 25 Mike Victor, my dad decided it was time to pass the plane on to its next owner. The plane was listed for sale in the fall of 2023, and after a couple of false starts, he was contacted by a pilot in Detroit, Michigan. He and his wife were professional pilots, and their young son's working on an instrument rating. After a thorough pre-buy and a blessing from the Cirrus Maintenance Center, we were off to deliver the airplane. We departed for Livingston County, Oscar Zulu Whiskey, with a stop halfway in St. Louis. Dad would fly the first leg, and I would fly the second.
Cirrus 5, my fifth close contact is from departure today.
Good day, 25 Mike Victor. Thank you.
Alright, so for video purposes, we have just left Denton. We are headed to, what is SUS called? Is that St. Louis proper, or?
Spirit of St. Louis.
Spirit of St. Louis. So technically we are flying someone else's plane today. The Cirrus is sold and we're delivering it to the new owner. How long have you been flying, Dad?
Since 1981. Oh, I've been a pilot since 1981.
I thought you started flying before I was born.
No.
So we were in the Yukon house.
Yep.
All right. How many hours did you have when you soloed?
It's my 8th lesson. I don't know how many hours I had.
Probably 8.
But I should never have flown. I was not ready to fly solo. I should not have been able to do that.
I think you told me you had an aggressive instructor. I guess back then it was like...
He wanted the record for the least amount of training for one of his students, and I was the guinea pig.
Lucky you.
That's why I'm the risk taker I am today.
Are you willing to tell an interesting story?
It depends.
Is there an NTSB story out there with your name on it?
An NTSB story?
An icy runway?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever looked it up and found out if there's...
I did. They put it down to pilot error.
Okay.
Which
it was runway error.
It was runway error. It was a runway that had. It was at Angel Fire, New Mexico, and we were landing, and the end of the runway had ice from halfway mark all the way to the end. Snow had been plowed off of it, and the sides you couldn't see on either side because of all the snow that was piled up. Went into land, and it is pretty hard to get the plane to slow down, and we hit that ice and popped us up on the ice, and now we're on ice. I can't use my brakes.
Yeah.
And there are planes on either side of me, upside down, in the snow.
American 2862, contact Fort Worth 127.905.
And I tried to stop it, and we had a 90-degree crosswind, and we basically slid sideways until the wingtip caught an edge of the snow that had been piled up on the side, and we spun around. That stopped us.
And so last time you told me the story, they repaired the plane.
Yep.
And you took off. These are decisions you would not make today. So you took off from Angel Fire at night?
It was the sun. The sun was setting. If the sun had set, I was not going to take off. I was just going to stay at the hotel. But the FAA guy that was working on the plane said, "No, I'll have you ready to go, and just head for that mountain range right there. That's your lowest point. And as long as you can still see sunshine, you're good. If you want to go." And I said, "Okay, I'll go." And
this was in a world when you had no situational awareness but VORs, right?
Exactly. But I could still see that mountain ledge, and I crossed over it. And once I crossed over it, nothing but stars and street lights.
Is it a true statement that you entertained yourself by listening to the radio on your NDB?
It wasn't the NDB. It was the
ADF or something?
ADF.
Okay.
ADF. Found an AM channel, and I just decided to just pass the time and keep myself and my anxieties down at a level I could deal with, singing along on the radio.
Would you do that today?
No. I would not do. I would not fly. Even this aircraft, I would not fly in the mountains.
Yeah.
I haven't had any mountain training other than that, and that didn't work out very well.
So okay, here's what I imagine happened. I never asked you this. I remember telling you I was going to go take flying lessons when I was in my early 30s or whatever. And then it was right about the time I came home with my shirt tucked in, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I soloed." It was very quickly after that you bought a plane. And in my mind, you must have had a conversation with Mom going, "Brian's going to go buy some duct tape 172 together. I need to go get a safe plane." Because you went out and got that it was 1994, the newest plane I'd ever flown in.
Yeah.
That Cicada from Park School, St. Louis. I can't think of the name of the school, Papa Charlie. They delivered the plane. It was on your birthday. They delivered the plane, and you and I went and flew in it. And after the first 3 flights, we decided it was so complicated that neither of us were going to fly alone in it.
Number 25 Mike Victor, contact Fort Worth Center 132.2.
132.2, 25 Mike Victor. Thank you for calling. Fort Worth Center, Cirrus 25 Mike Victor, 5,500.
November 25 Mike Victor, Fort Worth Center, Roger, Macau, South Numbers 3027.
3027, 25 Mike Victor.
I remember we got that plane. We both were completely overwhelmed. And what's funny, I couldn't even tell you why. I think it's just because there were more buttons on it than in the one set. There was a series of buttons here. I remember, you got to remember to turn the altimeter on, or not the alternator on this plane. It's got a button for that.
Yep.
Remember, so for the longest time, it was like, I'm not flying it unless you're in it. You're not flying it unless I'm in it.
Well, we had that conversation about this plane.
We've had that conversation, yes. About
multiple times.
Both planes.
Hey, Fort Worth Center, Roger.
Every time you get a new plane,
as long as I can.
Don't fly it unless we're
with a left chop through the mid-30s.
I don't remember. You took Mom up in the new plane.
Yep.
And your flaps got stuck down. And then you started to lose electrical, and so you headed back to the airport and oh no, something's wrong with the plane, something's wrong with the plane. And
254 Fort Center, if I maintain.
You and I were talking about losing electrical power and couldn't figure out what it was. And at that same point in time, I'd uploaded a photo to, I think, Facebook of me flying the plane, and you called me or texted me and said, "What's that yellow light under your chin or whatever on the panel in the photo?" And I said, "Oh, that's the alternator light." And you said, "I guess when you and Mom were flying, that little alternator button that was on there, you'd forgotten to put both of us clearly."
Well, the power button and the alternator button
two separate
buttons side by side. And when I went to put the power on, I hit the power, but I didn't hit the alternator.
I did the same thing.
And we were up in the pattern and taking your mom for her first flight in it, and started losing the radio, started losing everything.
Which is hilarious because when I got the Comanche, the very first time I took Aaron up on Christmas, I didn't know there was an alternator switch under there. Forgot the same thing happened. Lost the radios, had to manually put the landing gear down. Father like son. Yep. Real quick, I'm just gonna. Fort Worth Center, Series 25 Mike Victor. Just want to confirm the Rivers MOA is cold.
Number 25 Mike Victor. Affirmative. Rivers MOA is cold today.
Thank you, 25 Mike Victor. All right, we're not gonna worry about that. So we got a Cirrus certified instructor, and we were going to commercial out to go get this airplane. And I know you had said it's at some air park, in
Jumbo Air.
Jumbo Air. In Ocala, Florida. And we're sitting there looking like, oh, any minute we're going to see this airport, any minute we're going to see this airport. And then off in the distance, I see what looks like a 747. And I remember going, Dad, I know where we are. And I pulled up a satellite photo of John Travolta's house.
Yeah. Yep.
And so this was John Travolta's next door neighbor's airplane. And then the flight home, we got I got my high performance endorsement. I think you already had yours.
And that was a great experience. We got to fly partially over the Gulf.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun. We flew from Orlando to Lakeland in Louisiana, New Orleans.
Oh, Lakefront, the one that goes over Pontchartrain.
Yes, yeah.
That's a cool airport.
2-hour flight.
Yeah.
Could not believe it.
I know, and then we went in Tyler and stopped. But again, I remember just thinking, like, this would have been an all-day trip in any other plane that I've ever flown.
Yeah.
So that was the first takeaway was this thing was just a speed demon.
American 632, contact Memphis Center 133.02.
All right, so people my age will want to know, how did you come to the decision that it was time to hang it up? And, well, a couple people I've told that we're going to do this, and everyone's like, what's he buying next? Do you think are you done, or have you decided?
No, I'm done. I think what it was is...
First off, thank you. I didn't ever have to take the keys away from you.
Hey, if you were going to take the keys away from me for this, you were going to have to give me a huge check when you did it. So. But I wasn't flying as much anymore. And, you know, just there was a lot of times just, you know, the thought, it's just like building a deck. Okay? I want to do it so bad until the lumber shows up.
So that's I want to go flying until you're sitting on the runway ready to throttle up, and then is it the what am I doing?
Yeah, it's what am I doing, and, you know, and I really want to do this, and, you know, you're 71 years old, going to be 72, and I remember flying down to one of the breakfast fly-ins at Granbury, and there was a guy there, and we were sitting there talking to him, and he said he was selling this plane. I said, well, what are you selling it for? And he said, I'm 75 years old, I'm too old. I know that I'm just too old. I know that it's time. And I thought, gosh, you know, he still looks like a young guy or whatever. I don't get it. I get it now.
All right.
It just,
Number 350 Whiskey, contact Forward Center 124.
I love the flying.
2475.
I'll go flying anytime with you because it's more comfortable. There's two people in case something goes wrong. Your mom liked the Cirrus because at least she could pull the parachute. And, you know, I wanted to make sure that she was going to be safe. Yeah, safe when we went places and stuff like that. But, you know, I want to turn this piece of my life off. And I saved a ton of money. I saved, you would not believe the money that I saved every year on this plane. Not that there was anything wrong with the plane.
No.
It's just an expensive
very expensive
hobby.
Every once in a while I add up what my plane costs, and I can't believe
Yeah, but you know, for the 10 years that we own planes, you never even think about that because it is so fun. It's probably time. Just and it's probably, like I told you before, there's a lot of things during my life that I feel like I always waited too late to do. I waited too late to start to get my instrument rating. Waited too late to start this, you know, and all these things. And then it's like, I don't want to be too late to get to the point to know that I need to stop this. It's time. And I want to beat the you want it to the punch.
Yeah, you want to beat that because it's not very forgiving.
Yeah.
Yep. I do know, for people who are watching and don't know, my dad is a tech geek, gadget guy, and my ongoing joke is he's going to be 90, be going, hey, Brian, you get to play this 4-flight update?
Yeah, I'll still keep 4-flight. I really like it. It's an awesome piece of software.
So for selling this plane, did you list it all? I don't even know how you...
everybody that owns a plane gets a postcard every month of, hey, we're looking for, these planes, looking for people to, we've got people that, are ready to buy, and Cirrus is a real hot thing. And of all the 5 or 6 that I got every month, I just picked this one, called him up, and it happened to be the same salesman that sold us this plane.
I did not know that.
Yes, it's the same guy.
Well, and interestingly enough, I looked, the airport that we're selling this at is in Ocala County. So
that's funny.
We bought it in Ocala, Florida, and we're selling it in Ocala County.
Well, on your YouTube, be sure and show the before and after.
Yeah. So Dad and I have, I think I've got a black hoodie or something. We're going to recreate the photo with much grayer hair. So Dad and I went out and we bought the plane in Florida. We got a photo of us standing in front of this thing. And so we're going to try to recreate that today, except I think we're going to be ankle deep in snow. But yeah, we
got to get it. It's a one-time shot.
Yeah, that'll be cool. How does Mom feel about? Mom, like I've flown with Mom a couple of times. One time I took her up in the Cicada, and I think she started to get a little motion sickness. She's not one, like I don't think she wants to fly for fun.
Okay? No, it's not fun for her. I don't think. I mean, it's just she always had the anxieties going to the airport. I didn't have the anxieties going to the airport.
4 Center, Roger. I thought 320 was one of the better rides. I know 33 and 34.
But she would have those anxieties. And then once she got into the plane, and once we got started, she was fine flying.
Okay. I may try to take Mom up on Mother's Day or her birthday or something. I'd like to fly her up to Lake Texoma. There's a grass strip up there with the restaurant. But
yeah, she's been a good sport about all of this.
I know she's not in love with the idea of flying.
Sometimes me and my dad joke that neither of us understand how the other one flies it without us there to correct them. Here's a perfect example.
I just recognize.
Oh. We're almost our destination.
Are we really? No, you've got a waypoint in there somewhere.
No, that's where we're landing.
Delta 1515, direction Delta 515, contact 4 Center 132.45.
I pitched mine a bunch of times too. We're almost to Detroit.
No,
you're zoomed way out, Dad. There's no way. Why is mine different? Do you have SUR in there instead of SUS? What is that? That's not the right airport.
Oh, why did I do that?
I don't know.
I'll have to. Oh, you know what? You know what? I was trying to get around this.
Oh, Center friendly.
Okay. Well, now we're off course.
4044 Center, Roger, Macau South 30.
But I looked down and we're still 2 hours out.
Yeah, I show 156.
All right.
I was like, man, we're going 300 knots.
This is what I'm talking about planning, okay? You should have looked at my iPad.
77 4 Center, Roger.
There we go. Get the VASI right.
Yep.
Oh, this is so awesome. Are you filming this?
Oh, yeah. The shadow on the snow looks so cool. Don't make me have to edit this landing to make it look smooth.
This is going to be a mic drop.
Center 4 Mike is due up traffic at your 1 o'clock and about 4 miles opposite direction to right downwind Cessna 2400.
I think you can, think you can go out on that one.
44 Charlie, traffic at your 1 o'clock, 4 miles westbound. It was be south of you, indicating 2400 for Cirrus.
That was about as perfect a landing as you could get.
Signature.
Mike Victor, you can go ahead straight ahead into the signature ramp with me and have a great day.
Appreciate it very much. 25 Mike Victor.
That was awesome. And I thought you were
for Mike.
I thought you were going to bounce.
Traffic, you can proceed on course. Thank you.
Do what? I thought it was going to bounce.
1544 traffic.
You thought we were going to bounce? I did, because
for you,
like we were
well
coming down faster than I'm used to.
Got that 1544 Charlie.
That was great.
So having just watched my dad absolutely nail his last landing, I knew I was going to get the leg that ended with gusty winds, turbulence, and poor visibility. We fueled up the airplane, shook out the cobwebs, and launched for the final flight in 25 Mike Victor.
What a waste of love.
So even though I live in Texas, I'm definitely a cold weather person. Flying over all of this snow makes me wish I lived a little further north. We rarely see snow, and certainly nothing like what was below us en route to Livingston County Airport. I guess the good news is my prediction was wrong. Looks like this leg was going to be a clear leg with smooth air all the way to our destination. Except the exact opposite of that.
All right.
How'd you feel that before I did?
That was on my side of the plane.
It just kind of rippled through.
All right. We only got 15 minutes left to find out if this parachute works. Here's your airplane, sir. You're going to need to get that repacked.
See that really bright white building right straight in front of us?
Yeah.
I think that's the runway. Runway's not going the right direction.
Yeah, we're coming at it. It should be coming at us from this way.
Right.
As is usually the case, I don't see anything that looks like an airport. We'll see it when we're right over the top of it. All right, fuel pump's coming on. Mixture a little bit forward. Autopilot's coming off. I'm not going to miss that beep. I wonder if that's the airport. I mean, it says 12 o'clock.
Well, it says you're dead center on the middle of the runway. It's right here. It's right there.
Where? That's
right
what,
here.
That's what. Okay, that's what I'm thinking is the airport.
That.
No, we're not over the top of it. It's 4 miles ahead of us.
Oh, it's a racetrack. We'll come back to that if we need it.
That's got to be it. But I should be coming.
You should be hitting the dead
That's
center
it.
of
That's it, right there.
Yeah. And it's not dead center now either.
10 years, nothing's changed in flying. Can't find the airport. All right, well, we will come in on a left base. Livingston County, Cirrus 25 Mike Victor is on an extended left base for 3-1, full stop, Livingston.
Fulton County 18173, training base 27, Fulton County.
I have to edit this part out, Dad.
You want to go around?
No, I'm all right.
Not go around, but I mean,
No. I'm
sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You are still really high.
They might be watching. I can't mess this up. Look at that.
I think you're all right now.
Not fair.
Hey guys, first off, I appreciate you staying if you're still watching this late in the video. I never make videos this long, so if you're still here, great. If you're a pilot, I kind of want to get real for a second. When I made this flight with my dad and when I was thinking about making this video, my thought was, the takeaway was, I'm going to have this really cool flight, this great flight with my dad. I knew it was going to be a long cross country. It was going to be pretty special. And so I was like, this is going to be a fun memory for me. The channel, it's mostly funny. I know a lot of you guys come here to laugh. I like the funny stuff, but I also like that this is kind of a scrapbook. I'm going to look back on this video years from now and have this great memory, and I do put those things on the channel periodically for me. And this is one of those videos, and I kind of thought that was going to be the takeaway. That's definitely a takeaway. The other takeaway that I think may be more important for people watching is we as pilots need to figure out how to make the decision my dad made. You know, in the back of my head, I figured there was going to come a time where I was going to have to say, hey, there's starting to be a problem here. I may need to take the keys away, or we're going to have to make, you know, you can't fly, make that decision. And the thought of doing that, taking away someone's, this level of freedom or liberty or what have you, this amazing thing that we're able to do, would be terrible to have to take that from someone. I hate the idea of one day me not being strong enough to give it up and then putting that burden on my spouse or my children or one of my kids, and them going, oh, we got to take this thing that dad loves away from him. Or worse, they're scared to make that call and I'm too stubborn to give it up, and they end up with some really bad news. So I do think it's important that we evaluate our skills and are able to make that decision so other people don't have to do it. That's a pretty big burden to put on someone else, and the guilt that they would probably feel if they had to take that away from you. We as pilots really need to be able to recognize when it's time. And it's easy for me to sit here in my 40s and say this. When I'm 65, 75, 85, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be, but hopefully I'll go back and watch this video and go, I need to be as courageous or as strong as my father was. You just saw a man grease a landing. And the guy has amazing stick and rudder skills, but something in him said, you know, it's time for me to stop. He decided it's time for him to stop, and if he decided it's time for him to stop. I think we know when we're rusty, and I hope we will know when it's time to make that decision for ourselves. But I do think it's really important that there's going to come a time in all our lives when we need to do some self-evaluation and make sure that we make the decision so other people don't have to make it for us. So that's become my bigger takeaway, is how great that was, that he was able to do that so that me or my sister or my mom didn't have to take something away from him. That's this amazing thing. So Dad, thank you for doing that. Very cool. Very nice of you. I don't know that I would have ever been able to make that decision. And again, if I was scared to make that decision and you started to get dangerous and something bad would have happened, then I would feel 10 times more guilty that I didn't say something. So that piece of all of this has got me thinking a lot. And a lot of this, as I was editing the video, kind of got me thinking, like, this is someone who looks like a very good pilot to me, still has a very good skill set, but was smart enough or aware enough to go, something in me says something's not right, and if something's not right, I need to be able to say I'm going to call it quits. So I just wanted to throw this out here and babble a little bit, because I do think that there's a takeaway for pilots as we get older to kind of figure out how to recognize that and then be strong enough to make that decision ourselves. So sorry to end it on a super serious kind of weird note, but that seemed like something that I felt like needed to be said. So thank you, Dad, for sharing this awesome plane with me. What a great, the channel started with the How to Land a Cirrus plane, which was kind of an accident video that wasn't even intended to be a YouTube video or whatever, and out of that was born whatever this is now. So I'm very lucky that you shared this plane with me. Thank you to everybody who watches the channel and has enjoyed the Cirrus videos. I don't know, should I change the logo? I feel like I should. I don't know. It doesn't make sense anymore, but maybe it's just stupid enough to keep for no reason. But anyway, it's been fun. All the flights I've had with my dad have been amazing. I know we're going to fly some more in a junky old Comanche, and we'll have fun doing that. So thank you, Dad. For people who've watched all the Cirrus stuff and enjoyed it and shared it, I appreciate it. Thank you to the Patreon supporters, Gold Seal, for sponsoring the channel. You guys fly smart, and we'll catch you in the next one. Click this link to see the most recent video upload. Click this link to see a video that YouTube thinks you might like. Click this link to subscribe to my channel.